We're pressing it right now. We're in. We're done. That's it. We made our way back to the internet.
Oh, we are on the internet.
Well, hello, people. How are we doing today? Welcome to another edition of After the Cook.
Oh, happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday, brother.
Oh, what a long-ass week it's been.
Agreed. Tuesdays suck. Today was my first day back at work. I took Monday off, and it was still brutal.
Yeah. So you're on a shortened work week. Doesn't it seem that, if you're off for a week or if you take a day off, you're still doing the same amount of work. You're just doing it in less time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's exactly correct. As soon as I walked in today, like 3 people were like, "Why do you take time off? You know that everything piles up. Now we got three times the stuff to do today." I'm like, yeah, let's just, there you go.
Yep.
Hello, Jeff Orr. How you doing? Fantastic. So we're on. We're doing it. It's Tuesday. It's After the Cook. I'm at Titletown Griller. Boom. There you go.
Oh. No, Schmeller Jr. and Dark Side of the Grill.
Fantastic.
Hey, we all have to hear about Elvira and your event this past weekend. So that was the name that I was kind of hinting at.
Yes.
Elvira is perfect. The mistress of the dark side. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it worked out very well, and I've been in love with her since absolutely forever. So
to play that or Elvira?
To Elvira, yeah.
Since
I think I was 8 or 9 when I was like, I saw her for the first time, and I just kind of gravitated right to it. So
it started making you feel tingles in different spots, where you're like, "What's happening to me?"
Exactly. That's I used to have. I think I was 13 or 14, and I had a poster of her moonbathing. She had a bikini on, and she was like in the moon, like Vampira, and I was like, this is the coolest thing ever, and it's just been that way since forever. So it's framed in the basement now.
So was that like? Did you know right away that that's what you were going to name it?
I had to see it painted.
Mm-hmm.
Before I could say for sure, but I had an inkling that was the name that I was going to go with, just because of the backstory. There is my very first truck was a Chevy half-ton, 94 Chev half-ton with a 350, and it had a blower, and it had like fatties in the back, and it had airbags, so it was just dropped right to the axles, had drop axles in the front. And this truck, I had like a bird eater scoop on it. It just looked crazy. I had a chain link steering wheel. The rear view mirror was like a chrome skull thing. Like it was just, you can imagine. I had a Hurst shifter on the floor. And in the back window, in huge letters, it said Black Betty. And it just, like, everyone knew. Yeah, everyone knew Black Betty, right? Ramajam. That everyone knew was it. And the thing was like loud and amazing. And I would have named the smoker Black Betty had it not been for that truck, but I just, the truck was such a legend that I had to just leave it alone.
Yeah, you know what? I think Black Betty's a pretty cool name for a smoker too, but I think Elvira is just a little sexier, and I think it suits. I think that sexiness suits you better.
Yeah, because
that just oozes from Mel.
No, it's I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Just walking past it, you're like, ooh. It's just, it does that thing to you. Like all the people at the event that walked, they all were like, wow. I've seen pictures of it, but like see it in person, wow. And it was just jam-packed full of meat and just rolling like a champ. It was awesome. And the patio was downwind of the smokestack, and it was quite nice. It wasn't heavy at all. The smoke was just clear and wisping.
Smell it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it made the whole thing. Like it was really awesome.
Yeah, she got them curves, and she's thick with two C's.
She's got some curves.
She is thick with 2 C's, my friend. No, I mean, it's a beautiful rig. I think I love that you made it yourself, but then the mistress of the dark side is perfect. So tell me about the event. How did the food come out? I mean, I saw pictures of
It
platters that
was,
people had. I saw pictures of the full smoker. Everything just spot on.
yeah, man. It went like clockwork. There was a few hiccups here and there. There always is, right? But um, everything just went deadly. The briskets, the briskets finished late. The stall was crazy. These things happen, right? The pork butts finished. Some of them finished super early, and that really threw me off guard. But then I threw them in the Cambros, and everything was fine anyway. You could hot hold those things for forever, right? Like that was a good learning curve doing that kind of stuff. The chicken and the sausage. The sausages, the order was messed up. They came in a lot shorter than they were supposed to be, and it was almost like a breakfast sausage.
Oh, really?
So yeah, it was weird. It was like yeah, they were fat, but they were not long. They were like bangers almost,
Yeah,
right?
I was going to say that's like UK sausage.
Yeah, exactly. So that was exactly what I was thinking, right? But the smoke took to them like crazy. So we actually locked out there, and they worked out. There was no spice to it, which kind of sucked, but the smoke kind of counteracted that, and just the beefiness of it really came through. So I was super happy with everything.
Nice.
Everyone really loved it, and the chicken, nice crispy bite through skin. Like I was happy with it.
That's awesome.
A lot of stuff to take care of though, all at once, man.
Oh,
Holy crap! Just like I can't say how many people we cooked for, but there was a lot of people there, man. There was a lot of platters going out.
yeah, I
Hundreds of
saw the
pounds of
photos
meat.
of, you had, I think it must have been some of the chefs and sous chefs from the brewery that you were at. They were plating all the platters for you, and I just saw stacks on stacks of those. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was really neat. It was really neat watching the boys how they're staging stuff too. It was pretty cool. Um, they were sort of learning new ways and techniques of doing it, and they were scared to death of the slicing, right? So I had to go back there, and I brought my camera guy because I had a camera guy floating around with me, and I
Hmm.
brought him back there, and I'm like, okay, let's try this. Let's not muff this up. And as soon as I sliced into it, I picked one piece up, and it was just like the devil's tongue flopping around, right? I was like, oh, they're all going to be perfect. Everything's just perfect, just pull apart, right?
Mm,
Huge smoke ring, half-inch smoke ring all the way around. I was so happy, man. So happy.
that's a great feeling.
Yeah.
So then to celebrate, you had to grab a picture of Captain and Diet.
Yes, that was you know what? That was the neatest part of the whole night for me was, um, the bartender was laughing. He said, I haven't made a rum and coke in a pitcher in years. And we, like, up here, it used to be commonplace, but to be honest, I forgot about it. But rum and coke in a big pitcher, they'd call it a pony. They'd call it a pony of rum and coke. And it used to be like $10 for a pony of rum and coke. Well, I think they didn't want those people in the bar anymore, so they quit serving them. Because who wants someone that'll finish those?
Right.
Right? Makes sense, kind of, whatever. So I had a bunch of those. And the guy was just laughing. He's like, of course you drink those. That just makes sense. Like, why wouldn't you? So I had 2 straws, right? And just, oh, it was good. It was a great time. The briskets, they went on for about 16 hours. It was a long cook, man. Long cook. Rolling 225 steady, 225 to 250. Just,
You got it locked in.
oh yeah, man. After those modifications we did on the door,
Yep.
in the firebox, cleaned it up. It's just deadly.
You
Absolutely
cook,
deadly.
end up cooking the briskets 100% on site too.
Sort of, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Sort of, yeah. So yeah, it was a good time. It was a good time. We had
that's a killer lid you're wearing too.
yeah, so this was a gift by someone that came by there. Pig Country Barbecue here in Edmonton. They do North Carolina whole hog.
Okay.
And he brought me a hat, and I was like, that is a sexy hat. It's just a golden pig. And I happen to really like pigs, so I was quite taken back by it. I'm not quite sure if that's their logo or just one of their items, but I was
Yeah.
really quite taken with it. So I can't seem to keep it off my head now, which is
Pretty
nice.
badass. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Matches the
Yeah.
golden on the neck very nicely too. So yeah.
Yeah, that that was on point. On point at the event. It was good. It was a really good time. Really good time. Got to see a lot of people. A lot of people from Instagram actually that I had never met before.
I saw some pictures. City of Grillers made his way out there, and
Yep.
to meet you, took some pictures. Yeah, it was a hell of an event. It almost makes you feel like we're getting back to normal, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's sort of not really. Sort of not really. I don't know. Like the event was cut down by 60%.
Okay.
So we just went into like our first stage of lockdown. So we're still allowed to eat on patios, but the restaurant is closed.
Oh, wow.
So as long as there's a patio, you can get food. If not, it's to go only. And they did that right before the event. So we were planning on having full seating, which was another 300 people.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So, with things going back into lockdown, have you considered doing like a Campbell's barbecue type
I don't
thing?
know.
Now that you got Elvira kind of locked up?
I don't know that that's legal up here. I really have to. I have to look into the laws and how things are working for this kind of stuff. It's a lot different up here than it is down there.
Yeah, something you may have to do through
A kitchen,
another, brick and mortar.
which is then that's a huge drag. Like if it's downtown and you got to sit out in an alley with your smoker, right? Like I couldn't even imagine what that would be like. So we'll see. We'll see. I have no delusions of grandeur. I'm not running off to become a barbecue god tomorrow, but it's nice to know that the thing does what it's supposed to do.
Right.
And that
you get it dialed in, you kind of just want an excuse to throw a bunch of meat on it.
That's it. And to know that it can handle a big event like that without breaking a sweat makes me very happy.
Yeah.
Very happy. Yeah. Yeah. And I did all right too. Didn't break. Didn't even come close, which was nice. Just a cool head. Everything was, and things get crazy, right? You run out of rub. It's nuts. The barbecue sauce, right? The barbecue sauce was bananas. I thought we needed like 5 liters. Why would you need more than 5 liters? And then the head chef was like, "We're going to need 2 orders of 25 liters." And then I just kind of stopped for a minute. I was like, "I don't have enough onions or garlic or anything. I got to go to the store right now." And whoa, So like right back to so instead of putting half of 1 bottle of bourbon in there, it was 3 bottles of bourbon. So, right. Crazy times, man. Crazy times. But good barbecue sauce. Real good barbecue sauce. So
you made like 10 gallons of barbecue sauce?
Yes. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And it tasted fantastic. So there's that. But
that's like a bathtub worth of barbecue sauce.
Yes, sir. It is. I got awesome. The old Camp Chef just a reefing on it. That's the big old crawdad pots, right? Yeah. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. Yep. So yeah, that's that. It went good. I'm good. It was nice to have a day off after that. Just
yeah, I'm sure.
Yep.
Did you get barbecue yesterday then, or did you?
I did not. Tanya. Well, it's so funny story. After all of those ponies of rum and coke, I wanted nothing to do with barbecue sauce. For breakfast, I did my little magic trick that Mel likes to do. I went and got breakfast from A&W for the wife and the kids, right? So they got pancakes and they got bacon and eggs, and she got a couple of bacon and eggs. And I got 14 burgers, and I piled them extra onions, and I just downed those things like an alligator, man. Right down the gut.
Wait. How many burgers?
4. I had 14 burgers for breakfast. 8 o'clock. 4 teen burgers.
What's a teen burger?
A teen burger is a I think it's one quarter pound patty or 2 quarter-pound patties with like onions and tomatoes and lettuce and mustard, cheese, and bacon, Canadian bacon.
Okay.
Quite tasty.
I thought you said you had 14 burgers, and I was like, Mel, unless those are White Castle burgers, we have to have a talk.
No. I did not have 4. I had 4 teen burgers.
Okay.
And then for lunch, I had Vietnamese salad rolls, the shrimp salad rolls, with 2 whole jugs of pho, or pho, if you will. I had 2 separate big orders of pho. And then for dinner, keep in mind, I also cooked the picanha, but the picanha was for lunch for the next day. I cooked the picanha just for the Instagram. For dinner, we had dim sum. I went and did take out dim sum, and Mom came over because everything's calm now. So that was nice. It was a good time. So yeah, I had just a ton of good takeout. Yeah, but sometimes that's what it takes to get yourself out of the ditch.
Just kind of recharge it and get back to because you always have that, not a hangover from drinking 7 ponies of Captain and Diet, but just a hangover from those long days of cooking, just the amount of preparation and stress that you had building up that whole entire week to go into it, where all of a sudden it's just that release of, okay, it's done, I killed it, I just want to breathe for a day, just chill, watch a Rob Zombie movie, and have some takeout.
You got it, man. It was nice. It was nice to finally shake that off and just regroup. So
and then you fire up the Big Green Egg for some picanha.
That's it. Yeah, that's back to our regularly scheduled programming. Right? Got into that. Did some of that. It's pretty nice.
Back to killing it on the egg.
Yep. Yeah, I did.
Of killing it on the Big Green Egg. Our guest tonight is somebody who's been hammering it too. Yeah, you can't see him, but he's down there in the green room. Been hammered on the Big Green Egg, who just was announced as one of our teammates on BG Team Green too.
That's right. Yes, he is. I'm very excited. The gentleman's name is Matt Egginwithdad.
At Egginwithdad. We aren't following him. Give him a follow. He's one of the new BG Team Green members. He's out in, I believe, New Jersey.
Is he really in Jersey?
I think so.
Oh, I can't wait to talk to him. That's fantastic. Because I was gonna, with his name, I was gonna be like, "What are you? What are you from Jersey? Really? Is that?" That's perfect. That's absolutely perfect. I have to see how he pronounces his last name. That's why I didn't say it, because there's a proper way of doing it, and I want to hear the proper way of doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you say? Should we bring him in?
We should bring him in for sure. Here we go. Always pressing the wrong button. Boom! There you go. How you doing?
What's going on, guys? How are you?
Fantastic. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here. Been watching for a while. Always dreamed about one day being able to sit here with the two of you, have a little cocktail, enjoy.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful.
So Matt, can you pronounce your last name for us?
So my last name is literally just how it's spelled. It's Galasso. Galasso. So nothing crazy about it. My mother is the one who was born in Italy. My father's grandparents or great grandparents came from Italy, so he's like 3rd generation. But my mother's straight off the boat. She moved here when she was 8. She got left back in 1st grade because she couldn't speak English. But her last name is Patti, Pati. So you would think Patty, but they have the pronunciation, Patti. But
that's fantastic.
It's cut and dry. No bad way to pronounce it. I've get it all different ways from people. A lot of people
And you are cooking out in New Jersey?
New Jersey, yes, sir. Marlboro, New Jersey, Monmouth County. So I'm like 45 minutes from New York City, with no traffic. Half hour from the beach. I'm right between everywhere you want to be. But it's suburban over here, so we have driveways and parking lots. You need a car to get around. So a lot of people don't know the different parts of New Jersey if you're not from here, because there's some that are really, really city-like, but then there's really, really rural as well. And I'm sort of like right in the middle there.
Yeah. You're far enough outside of the city where you get to have that suburban life, but you're close enough where you can get to that lifestyle and get to those places when you want to.
Exactly. My office is in the city, so I do, before the pandemic, I was traveling there 5 days a week. Now I'm going in a couple of days a week, which is nice to cut the commuting time down, even though the commute's not terrible these days, but it used to be, 2 hours each way with traffic, getting to work. So I'm loving the work from life home. It was great for 2020 for me personally, just to be able to not only spend time at home with the kids, but to spend time on the grills every day, following all of you guys, seeing what's going on. I really got into the Instagram world in 2020, and it was just a blessing to have like all that time to just every day plan something out, cook something different, make something new, and just really just hammer it out day in and day out. I had the eggs for almost 6.5 years now. But I cooked so much in the past year, like it's just been crazy, but I loved it.
Yeah, and I think that's one thing that came out of the pandemic a little bit more too is, I used to go grocery shopping like, 3-4 times a week, or I would just, stop on my way home from work, grab something, and cook that for dinner. Where I think, we grocery shopped a lot less often, so we planned out a lot more. So I actually put a little bit more thought into my week. Okay, what am I going to cook? How do I want to cook it? And then as you're thinking about that, you kind of think of different ways in your head that you can tweak the stuff. And that really kind of allows you to plan a little bit more, which I think was kind of cool too.
No, without a doubt. And I'm with you on that too. I was buying stuff in bulk a lot of times because, you want to make one trip every 2 weeks, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
So I just would pick out stuff that normally I wouldn't have. Anything from, I had, pork and beef, chicken, all different kinds, experimenting with, chicken thighs and doing different things that I never did, stuffing things, rolling things. Like, it was just great. Good time to experiment.
Also, you're Italian, so you cook for 20 anyway, right?
That's it, man. That's it. I've made eggplant parm. I made eggplant parm in the Big Green Egg last year.
That's awesome.
Fantastic, by the way.
Yeah, that's one thing I always want to do is put my big enamel crock pot or my big enamel Dutch oven on there and do a proper Sunday gravy. Yeah. With all the meats, right? Just get it. I could just imagine how good that would be. Oh.
All right, so there's a big debate, a real big debate. I heard you just say gravy. The sauce versus gravy debate.
Yeah.
And my mother, like I mentioned before, came from Italy. I was grown up. Sauce is what we call it always. We have sauce and we have meat sauce if we have meat in it. I was always told that gravy goes on turkey, but I always get pushback from a lot of people who they call it gravy and they're Italian and they call it gravy, so it's just crazy. I don't know if you always call it gravy. Do you have if it has meat? Is it gravy?
I'll tell you what, and I'm going to be totally honest with you. I'm up here in Canada. My intimate knowledge of Italian culture, and I know you're not going to want to hear this, but it's from right where you live, right? And I have all the seasons on DVD and Blu-ray, right? That's it. Are you from Napolitan, or that's I can't help, man. I can't. Oh man, like I even have their cookbook, the Sopranos cookbook, and it's crazy. Like the Big Ziti, I'm very impressed with how much they're actually looking into the culinary history of making these dishes. Like they actually properly, because imagine the blowback if some Italian was watching the Sopranos and was like, "That's not right." Could you imagine? Like you couldn't. So they had to nail every single dish, which is I love it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I didn't even know they had a cookbook, to be honest with you. Shows how much I know.
Oh, yeah.
And
that's man. I
don't know if I'm wrong, but I feel like, Mel, like one time, I don't know, didn't you say that you came to New Jersey and there was like a store that you liked or something, or a restaurant?
I always wanted to see the butcher shop.
Is that what it was? The butcher shop from Sopranos?
Yeah, I've never been, but that would be the one place. I just in my head, like the iconic butcher shop. I heard it's right there, and it's just the way it looks.
Okay.
So I don't know.
Mel wants to walk off and see two old guys in tracksuits sitting outside on a little table with the red and white checkered tablecloth.
Well, this is like I told you about in Calgary. So in Calgary, they got a sausage. It's a deli. It's Italian deli. Their sausage is some of the best in Alberta. It rivals our Ukrainian sausage, which is also the kubasa is massive up here. But their Italian sausage, the Spalumbo's Deli in Calgary. I walk in there, my very first time. You got to order the sausage just on a bun with your meat sauce, or it's got your sauce, right? So it's just a bun, sauce, and a sausage right there, and you eat it, right? Two guys, probably about 350 pounds each, in tracksuits, standing on the other side of the counter. I'm like looking around. There's three more in the corner reading the paper. I'm like, this is the right place to be. Don't care what you say. These guys know exactly what time. And it was one of the best sausage in a buns I've ever had in my life. They got the little bit of peppers in there, right? Sausage and peppers, and that's,
sounds like they knew exactly what they were doing.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it, man. There's just not a ton of shit. It's just, this is what it is, and it's really good. And take it. Like, that's what you get.
You just walk in and say, I'm going to have whatever they're having.
Yeah, that's exactly. That's
if you've never been to this place before and you see people like that, that's exactly how you got to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Spalumbo's Deli. Every single time I go anywhere near Calgary, even when I'm going out to BC, going out to Invermere, I'll do a bit of a trek just to hit that deli, just for their sausages for my trip, because it's always hands down amazing. I love the craftsmanship that goes into stuff like that in those small mom and pop shops. Yep. It's worth the drive. It's worth the wait. It's worth the extra price. It's worth the support. If you got one like that in your neighborhood, by all means, go there tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Go get a sandwich. Do something, but do it.
And we do. We have a bunch of, there's a lot of specialty shops around here. Butchers, specialty Italian shops. And, I agree with you. The stuff that you get there, it beats anything that you're going to get at your local supermarket or your Costco, whether it be the meat, whether it be the pasta, especially the homemade stuff. Like, I go to Pastosa, it's a few minutes away. They're only open certain hours, and on Sunday, you're going to wait, but it's worth it for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, no, I totally support that, man. Totally support that.
Definitely.
Yeah. So Matt, you said you've had your egg for about 6.5 years now.
My first one, yeah.
Yeah. So what are you cooking on? I've seen pictures of your shack that you have. It's fantastic. Your little egging setup, your outdoor kitchen. It's
another quarantine project that was,
Yeah.
I was tired of getting wet every time it rained, so I wanted to start with an overhang, and then it sort of just turned into like this vision that I had, like a place to hang out, like a little bar, watch the game, have friends over, cook, and just chill. And it's been awesome. We hang out here all the time. Sometimes, I'll hang out here by myself, or even just me and the wife. We'll have breakfast out here in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Cool place to hang out. But yeah, I had my first egg over 6 years ago. The large, and back then, I was on Egghead forums and just talking to people, getting advice, and everybody tells you, the large is all you need. The large is all you need. Now I recommend an extra large to anybody getting there first, because the XL is really the advice I wish that I would have gotten 6 years ago. But it's just been a crazy journey from the beginning. I never smoked anything before, but I always wanted to. The draw to me was that it did everything. So I was like, I just bought a house, and I was like, if I'm gonna get something, I want to get something that does it all. And so I went for the big green egg, and I started with ribeyes. I think was my first cook. I didn't do any of that low and slow seasoning. I just went right for it. I reversed sear, cranked it up. One of the best steaks I ever had, and the rest is history. I started with briskets. I started with pork flesh. I started doing ribs, and everything wasn't great in the beginning. It was still good. Got better over time, but it became a passion. It went from cooking to eat to just cooking as a lifestyle, just because I love the process, everything about it. There's nothing like waking up early on a Saturday morning and just lighting it up and getting that brisket going, knowing that you have the whole day to go. Tagging down in a fire in the hole at 2:30 in the morning. There's nothing like it.
Yeah.
That's true. So you're cooking on. Do you have a large, an extra large, and a mini max?
No. I just have a large and a mini max right now.
Okay.
Extra large is definitely on the menu. I got to figure out where I'm gonna situate it in here. I might have to either replace this table or try to make a hole in the granite for it over here, so I can have the large and the extra large next to each other. But right now it's the large and the mini max. I had the mini max about a year ago, and I use it probably twice as much as the large.
I was going to say, you can do so much with that combo, though. I mean, that combo with the mini max is it's perfect.
It just opened up so many doors, because it was like, now I could cook at 2 temperatures at once. I could smoke something here, I could grill something here, I could do my sides on this one while I'm cooking something there. Like, it's just been awesome. And it also got my wife involved too, so she never touched the grill before. But once we got the little one, then she was like a little bit less intimidated, I guess. She started doing it, and her thing was like making breakfast every morning, especially during the pandemic. Like, come out here at like 7 in the morning, she's got the grill going with the cast iron, making French toast, making eggs, whatever you could think of. Like, that's why I gained 15 pounds during quarantine. Eat off the grills every day, but no regrets at all. No regrets at all. But yeah, great combo. A great combo for sure. The two of them.
Yeah, I don't use my mini max nearly enough, because the XL, like you said, for me, I started on the large, but as soon as I got that XL, it pretty much took over for the most part everything I cook. And now the mini max is more for travel or tailgating, that kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And the large I keep for the red hot cooks, because it takes a beating. It takes a really good beating, and to be honest with you, when you're cooking pizzas, you want that airflow. You need that kind of crazy heat, and you need that airflow where the XL, it's a bit slower for airflow just because of the size, the way it's shorter, fatter, right? It's really good for dual zone cooking, all of that stuff. It's really good for the nice intricate stuff. But yeah, my large pizzas, nachos, 800,000 right now, just perfect, like perfect. So yeah, I wouldn't part with her. The large, I wouldn't part with it, but I tell everybody now, spend the extra bit, right? Plan for the extra size right off the bat, and really utilize that dual zone. And another thing is, it wasn't that cool until the new expander came out.
Yeah.
Because if the expander, when it was that big plate, it wasn't that efficient. I didn't like it at all. But now with the dual plates, it just makes sense. So
yeah, that was the game changer for Egg when they came out with the expander for the extra large, and that's kind of what made me change my recommendations too. I was the same way. I started on a large. My father-in-law has my large now, but I was like, I don't see a need for anything bigger. And then when I left my old job, my boss actually got me my XL as a going away present. Freaking awesome. And I'm like, yeah, this is nice, it's big, but there's some things that you can't do on it. Like, I don't feel like until the expander came out, you really got to use the full space of the XL. Now with that XL, when you can set up a true indirect and direct side, and the different tiers, I think there's a lot of different things you can do with that one grill. But I think, to what's been said, that the Mini Max as a combination to either an extra large or a large is a workhorse. I do not think they have an expander for the 2X yet. But between tailgating, traveling, vacation, searing, I mean, the Mini Max is a searing machine.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
So much you can do.
And it heats up so quick. It's just amazing. It's like less than 10 minutes and you're at 600 degrees, like ready to go.
Yeah. For sure. Especially with a flamethrower.
I know. I got to get
2 minutes.
one of those.
2 minutes, you're ready to go with anything. That's yeah. For the 2XL, it's not an expander, but their plates are the same as the XL. Right? It's a split plate. It's not one huge plate. It's 2 plates. So it works kind of the same. And to be honest with you, if you need extra room in your 2XL and you have an XL expander, you can just toss that puppy right on there. So it fits right in the grates. Yeah. So and it gets you up.
I thought about the 2XL, but it's just like so big and like you said, there's really not too much of a, you know, like not an aftermarket, but a lot of accessories for it, you know? So
yeah,
I feel like XL would just be the perfect one for me to get to just like complete it.
Well, that's for me with the 2XL, like cooking a whole hog.
Yeah.
I could see doing probably 2 of those a year if this COVID thing lightens up and we're allowed to have friends over again, right? Then I could definitely see a hog or 2 every year. And that alone makes it worth it because that hog, the last hog I did on there, was exceptional. Like absolutely super juicy. It stays nice and humid in there while it smokes. It's crazy. There's no need for a water pan. It's too efficient. So yeah.
So are you saying that you don't sit at home by yourself, smoke a whole hog, and just sit down and cook at it?
Well, I do now, but it's a lot less fun. That's the thing. We talked about this, Chris. If I continue the way that I'm headed here without having friends to come and visit, I'm likely to turn into Jabba the Hutt, and I can't have that. So, yeah, I will be the size of the 2XL, and I will also be green. So that's not good. That's
fantastic.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, man, that thing is a beast. You know, I saw pictures of people like smoking ribs on the 2XL. They look like they were like racks of ribs cut in half.
Oh,
they
yeah.
just look so small on there.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I can't imagine having all that space. I'm sure there's got to be times, like you said, a whole hog or a big party. But something that big is just like, I can't even fathom like what I would do with it.
Well, I think the most I had on there at one time was 10 pork butts.
Okay.
I had 10 pork butts in trays, all going on there at the same time, and it doesn't care whether you have 1 or 10.
Yeah, yeah.
It's gonna once it hits temp, it's just gonna do what it does, and it's freaking incredible that way. Elvis, what is your problem?
So, Matt, you talked a little bit about your Italian background. Is there, and you made eggplant parm on your egg before. Is there any other like specialty cooks you have? So, like, let's say somebody's coming over for dinner and you really want to impress them with something. What are you making?
Oof. All right, so this is where it gets tricky. So my family, or at least my mom's side of the family especially, like, they're very, very picky. And they love Italian food. You would think like Italian people want to go to a restaurant, maybe try a different kind of food. But it's like, no, they want to go to an Italian restaurant. When they come over here, you know, I make things that I think are knock it out of the park, you know, make a prime rib, like a beautiful medium rare prime rib, like unbelievably delicious. And my aunt is telling me that it's too rare to cook it more, and she wants the thing burnt, charred, and it kills me inside to do it. So to answer your question, if I'm having family over, I'm ordering from an Italian restaurant.
Right, you'll just have the tinfoil pans and
that's it. That's
right,
it.
right.
You know, my family, you know, and growing up myself, you know, barbecue was never on the menu. It was never something that anybody talked about. Everything that I do now is like, oh, I'm the first person to do it, you know. And my parents do like it; they enjoy it, you know. But you know, my family that's on my mom's side and the real, you know, off the boaters, like they're set in their ways. However, my mother did give me a lamb head that I have in my freezer right now.
A lamb head?
Yeah, oh yeah, the head of the lamb.
All right.
So she wants me to make her gapuzzel, it's called. It's an Italian dish with the lamb's head. Eat the brain, the eyes, and all that. So this is going to be one of those things that I cook, take pictures, and then give it to her to eat, because I don't know that that would be something that I'm all about. But it is a big Italian dish. You know, they got a lamb for Easter, so the lamb's head is in my freezer waiting for me when I'm ready to go.
That's awesome.
That is fantastic. That'll be something. I mean, it's one of those things where you get to just try it and just see what it is, and
Yeah,
you got to take a bite.
I will. Listen, I always tell people this too. Like, I'll try anything. You know, at least
Right.
once. A couple of years ago, you know, I did an alligator, and I built that up for a long time. I made like a Facebook party. I had invited all my friends. Everybody came over. We planned it out for like weeks. So this gator came to the house. I got a 21 pounder because I had the large, and I was hoping it would fit, and it coiled up on there. Just made it, which was great. But you know, this was like a week-long event. It came, I thawed it, I brined it for 3 days. I looked up all these recipes. Buddy of mine's a chef. He made me jalapeno cornbread stuffing for it, with andouille sausage, and we went to town on that thing. And you know, people were in the same boat that I was saying before. Like, I don't want to try that alligator. I don't know. But once people took a bite, everybody was like pleasantly surprised, and it just like it went. You know, we were down to the skeleton in no time. But you know, something like that, it was really exciting to do the whole process. You know, Mashiach just did it, grilling with Dad. You know, I followed him the whole time, and it just brought back memories. And I'm just like such a cool cook. And I'm just trying to think like, what's the next cool thing or unusual thing that I could make? You know, I guess the lamb's head will be it. You know, I've done cow's tongue, but like I really am looking for that next, you know, showstopper. You know, something that presents nice like the alligator did. So I don't know. I know Mel is all about the octopus. You know, I've done the little guys. I would love to do a big one.
You should shove a giant octopus in the butt of a turkey and see what happens. tell you what, it's nowhere near as well received as you think it's going to be. That's the awkward part. There is.
I'll be honest with you though. You broke the internet with that picture because it's everywhere. It is absolutely everywhere.
It's a weird one, man. It's yeah. Yeah, the alligator thing sucks for me because I can't get it up to Canada. I tried even again recently. I talked to my wholesalers, I talked to my distributors, I talked to the head of the seafood corporation here in Edmonton, and they literally sent me to Vancouver to their customs division. The Canadian government has a ban on alligators, even though it's farmed meat. Even though it doesn't matter. They only settle for like small pieces, fillets. So
that's pretty interesting.
And now they're trying to keep me out of the United States to cook my alligator. So now I'm upset again. Like, I'm not quite sure how to take this. I think I'm going to give them an ultimatum. I'm just going to say it's one or the other. Either you let me go down there and cook it, or you let me bring it in and cook it. But either way, this has to happen. So yeah, I got to cook it.
I know, and you always say that that's like a bucket list item for you, and I'm just surprised that you never did it. Now I know the reason.
Well, this was the whole point of the 2XL. When I put together getting the 2XL, my big thing was going to be the breakthrough bacon wrapped alligator. I was going to do a wonderful Cajun seasoning, the Cajun butter, and wrap the whole sucker in a beautiful weave and curl her up on the 2XL. And as I was setting it up and putting my phone calls in, they were like, had you done this just last year, it would have been fine.
Oh.
And then that was it. That was yeah. It's funny you were saying about grandma or mom with the lamb, that kind of thing, right? So Ukrainians, we're a lot the same. We have our own head cheese, which like a lot of people don't want to know what's in it because it tastes good, right? But the getting there part is really quite crazy, right? And your sweetbreads and stuff like that. Lots of people don't like these things. It is what it is. But the culinary side of that, they're all things that taste absolutely incredible. And that's the tricky part, is just getting over what it is, or your stigma of what it is, and get into like it's food. And these people know what they're talking about with every other dish they make. Just have to roll with it, right? And that's how I look at it every time. That's how I look at it.
And you have to. Yeah. And I love when people years ago, people would be like, oh, you love, you know, these hot dogs. You know what's in a hot dog? I'm like, listen, whatever was in the hot dog, I ate it last week and I loved it. I'm gonna eat it tomorrow. I'm gonna love it. So it can't change the way I feel about it because it's absolutely delicious.
Mm-hmm.
And the one thing that I'll say that I did try that I didn't care for was beef liver once because it was just so grainy
Yep.
and was presented as it looked like delicious steak on the platter. We were at a restaurant, a Russian restaurant in Brooklyn, and they brought that out, and I was like, "Oh, steak, beautiful!" And I started chewing, and I was like, "This isn't steak." And then I realized what it was, and I was like, ever since then, you know, I can't do liver just because it was just so grainy and sandy. But I didn't know that you were Ukrainian, Mel.
Yes, I'm half Ukrainian, half Danish. So
Okay, my cousin, he
yeah.
married a Ukrainian woman.
Oh yeah.
And the two of them, they just bought an extra large Big Green Egg a few months ago on my recommendation,
Fantastic.
and they still haven't lit it yet because they want me to go over there and do the inaugural light. I hope they're watching right now so they can see. I'm calling you
Awesome.
out for having this extra large sitting in your backyard for a few months and you haven't even lit a fire in
Well,
it.
That's
But, yeah,
hilarious.
he's from Kiev, and you know, I can't attest to what it is that I've eaten before, but the cuisine has been fantastic, whether it be
Yep.
stuff that mother made, stuff that she made, you know, restaurants we've been to. So I'm with you on
Yep.
on that. There.
Well, that's a neat thing. I don't know. I don't know how you came up, but when I was a kid, I spent like every waking minute with my grandmother whenever possible in the kitchen because
Yeah,
that's where the food was, and that's where I wanted to be. And I grew up constantly making everything by hand. Right, we made our own sauerkraut, we made our own pickles, we made our own everything, beet, you name it. Like it was all preservatives. It was all, and I loved it. Absolutely loved it. And you know, like a soup that takes 3 days to make, and then the
yes,
family all piles in, and then it's gone. And
yep.
that's how you do it. That's how it's supposed to be done. So it's always
But
big for me when I'm seeing that.
in a way, that got you ready for barbecue. You know, for low and slow, for the long process and the blood, sweat, and tears that goes into it, and it's gone in a matter of minutes, but it was still worth it in the end for the time
Yep.
that you got to spend doing it, you know, whether it be by yourself or with people, friends, family. Like, it's just always an exciting time to
Yeah.
have it all come together and then present it
Yeah.
finally, you know. Everybody's waiting for the payoff.
Well, it's kind of funny. I saw a meme the other day, and it was on one of the meat forums, so it was pretty skewed. But they were like, so and so invited me over for a barbecue, and when I got there, they were cooking hamburgers and hot dogs, and they were all mad about it. And I was like, you know what? Actually, like barbecue means something different to just about everybody. And if
mm-hmm.
you talk about like in the world, that to some people that is a barbecue, and for sure people are piling into people's yards for exactly that, like the sausage and peppers, right? Like you can't, and people will line up for that. That's the whole thing of the day is sausage off the grill, done just like that, charcoal, right? They're fantastic. And then to other people it's briskets, to other people it's whole hog, to other people but it's all barbecue. And
Yeah.
that's the neat part about it. Like steaks, whatever. Like it's real. Like the East Indians, right, with their the tandoori chickens and stuff like that. It's the exact same. They're doing it's crazy different dishes to us, but it's still on charcoal, done the same way we're doing everything we do. Like it's so
Oh, yeah.
it's
The
yeah,
best
I
part is,
love it.
you know, like, we get to experiment and try it all, you know, like Rob, barbecue poet, you know, he did the tandoori skewers and he got me the idea and I started doing it and it's amazing, it's delicious, you know. And you know, I never thought about eating tandoori style chicken before. And you know, you try these
Yeah,
different things and you see how good it is. And sometimes, you know what,
yeah.
a burger and a hot dog will hit the spot, you know, on a certain day.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Growing up, you know, that was a barbecue for my family. It was just gas grill,
Yep.
burgers, dogs. You know, the big thing was chicken thighs that were marinated in Italian dressing, but on the grill they were great. And let me tell you another
Yep.
thing. My mother, she makes the best chicken cutlets of all time. My friends
Oh
can
yeah.
attest to that. Growing up, you know, everybody wanted to come over for dinner. What we started doing in recent years, though, she'll make them, but we'll cook them on the grill. And you cook those babies right over a flame, or even charcoal, especially. It's heavenly.
Oh, yeah.
Highly recommend. Instead of frying your chicken cutlets, grill them after you bread them. Life changing. Life changing.
Well, that's how we do. So we got rings of kubasa. It's like a ham sausage, garlic and ham sausage, and it's served usually cold. You don't cook it. It's served cold, sliced with pickles or whatever. It's fantastic. You can get a different kind of kubasa that you cook hot and then eat in a bun with mustard and whatever, right? Well, I took our traditional kubasa and I smoked it low and slow. So I didn't heat it to cook it. I was more smoking it and then warming it to temp. And then my grandma was like, I don't think I'm going to like that. Like, you probably shouldn't mess with it. It's been that way for like hundreds of years, right? Why are you one piece? And she was like,
don't fix it.
Can you get, yeah, she's like, one piece. She loved it. And then she was like, can you make it cold though? She's like, I still need it to be cold. But I really like everything you did it to it. It was perfect. It was absolutely perfect. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How about you? What's your background? Your nationality?
Me, I think we're mostly German. On my parents' side and my dad's side, there's a lot of my mom's side and my dad's side. There's a lot of German and Bavarian, which I believe is very similar to German. I actually think Shem is a Bavarian name. So yeah, very much more out there. And but yeah, like I was gonna say with people calling stuff barbecue, I don't have a problem if people call burgers and dogs barbecue. The traditional barbecue of what most of us think. What I do have a problem with is some people will call Sloppy Joe's barbecue. They're like, yeah, we're gonna have a barbecue sandwich. It's a Sloppy Joe. And I'm like, oh, that's not. I gotta draw the line there. That's a Sloppy Joe. Some people will call them Manwich because there was that. It was probably an '80s thing. That company that made the Sloppy Joe sauce and sold it really great. So they'll call it Manwich. I had this argument with people at work. There's people that I work with that call that a hot tamale, and I'm like, no. Acceptable answer for a hot tamale is either the tamale you would think of from Mexican food or the candy.
Or the shot.
Yeah.
Right. Not a Sloppy Joe. Because we were doing like one of those potlucks, and one of the nurses was like, oh, I'm going to bring hot tamales. And I'm like, dang, you're going to make some masa and wrap it up in corn husks? Like, this is going to be awesome. Then she shows up with Sloppy Joes. And, I have nothing against a Sloppy Joe. If you're calling it a hot tamale, I want to, yeah. Sorry, I digress.
I have not come across that ever. Somebody calling a Sloppy Joe barbecue, because I would just be like,
yeah,
I don't know how you could even react to that.
Right.
Maybe I don't know. What do they think? Because there's barbecue sauce of some sort in it.
Probably, and they're like, oh yeah, we're having barbecue sandwiches. I'm like, all right, what kind are we talking? We talking chopped brisket? We got pulled pork? We got pulled chicken? And no, we got Sloppy Joes.
Oh. They got to also know who they're talking to. The barbecue sandwich master over here. So, you're going to be hard to please and a big critic for sure.
I'm not hard to please, and that's what drives people are like, oh, I'm not cooking for you. I'm like, no, just give me slap a bunch of stuff on some bread and I'll be happy.
Let me tell you, he puts up a bit of a fight if you put up a breakfast burrito. He doesn't.
There's only one breakfast burrito king in this world, and it's him.
That's like Sunday morning, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, but your burritos, I mean, always just look phenomenal. I wouldn't even attempt to challenge you on that.
I look forward to it every Sunday. I got to get my workout in early because I know that after I eat that, I'm taking a nap.
That's it.
Yeah.
Oh. I'm just getting pelted by the sun here.
You are.
It's a very strange place for me right now.
Yeah, my sun's been gone for a long time, unfortunately.
What time is it by you now?
It is 8 o'clock.
Oh, wow. All right. 10 o'clock over here.
Oh, yeah. You know what? It has occurred to me that we're still learning time zones and daylight savings time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
When Buddha did that live, the daylight savings only changed for half of us. It didn't change for the other half, so they were an hour late. And I never really thought about it, but not everybody moves in daylight savings time.
I know, it's weird. And I think in the States, I just learned this past daylight savings that I don't think Arizona,
Arizona doesn't move, no.
and I never knew that. So, it is weird for sure.
Yeah, and what's weird is, the states that are on the edge, like Indiana. I think parts of Indiana are central and parts of Indiana are eastern.
Okay.
So that's just got to be, extremely difficult when you're trying to like set up meetings. If you're in just towns that are next to each other, and I don't know. That's not. I could do away with daylight savings time. I would take more dark in the morning to give me more light at the end of the day.
I agree with that.
Especially in winter when it's like I go into work, it's dark. I leave work, it's dark, and I'm like I don't see the sun for 3 days straight.
Yeah. Who wants the sun to go away at 4:00 anyway?
Right.
I'd rather be able to sleep on my commute in the morning to work. I take the bus into the city. I love when it's dark in the morning. I just sleep. But then I have the sun in my eyes some days, when it's too bright. Can't get that nap in before work. It's terrible.
Exactly. Part of it is because our pictures in the winter of our dinner, the quality goes way down. We don't have that natural light.
You had to see the stuff that we bought this past winter, these LED lights, everything, just to try to make it better. But it doesn't. Nothing compares.
Nope.
So I'm so happy to be back to where the sun is out until 8:00 now, because it just makes my life so much better when I'm cooking and taking pictures. And it's amazing that this is what my life has become. That these are the things that I appreciate now. But couldn't be.
And for
happy.
all the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the worst part. The kids like, we get to go outside because can you not make any noise? I'm doing filming here with my meat pie, right? Like
That's why all my reels I have to put music on all my reels because my kids are screaming in the background. Asking questions, I'm screaming at them. So it's just got to be music that goes over them. Otherwise, you're screaming. So Mel,
yes.
I learned that recently too. There's a difference between the Caesar and the Bloody Mary.
Yes.
What is
it is? I don't know. I don't know what the difference is. Campbell's barbecue. He made me a ton of Bloody Marys. And I don't know what the difference is. I believe you guys use tomato juice where we use Kamado. So there's clam and tomato.
My wife's family uses Kamado for all their Bloody Marys.
So then I don't know what it would be. You guys have vodka in it, right?
Yeah, or maybe they're making Caesars and don't know it.
I believe. So the weird thing is that the Caesar was made actually in my province. It was invented in Calgary, Alberta. Okay. So, and I'm not quite sure what makes it different than a Bloody Mary. I need to look into this more. But, see, clam juice. But if you guys are making Bloody Marys with clam juice, then I believe you guys are Caesars.
I've had them with Clamato, that's for sure. I mean, generally it's tomato juice, but I made the mistake of either you or I think it might have been Darren, calling it a Bloody Mary one day, and I was corrected. I was like, I gotta know what this is all about.
No, that's there's a couple of weird faux pas up here. I'm not quite sure how else to put them, but like you can't order a Bloody Mary and try and find a porterhouse. We don't have porterhouses. We have big, thick T-bones, but we don't have porterhouses. And there's a lot of neat, like the tri-tip 4 years ago, good luck. You'd never find a tri. No one even knew what that was or that it came off a cow. It was probably getting ground into hamburgers at the time. Like no one knew anything about it. But now, like Costco sells them, so everyone knows exactly what it is. But
that's crazy because over here in New Jersey, like the Northeast, nobody knows a tri-tip. Good luck finding one in the store. The only ones that I've had, I've ordered to get delivered. Maybe my local butcher that I go to, I never bought from him, but I imagine he would have tri-tip. But like you're going to a supermarket, you're going to Costco, you're not finding it, and not anybody, if you ever mention it, knows about it. So like, I think Snake River was the first one that I had, which sort of, spoiled me in the tri-tip.
It'll ruin you for other tri-tips.
Yeah. So,
All right.
those are definitely my favorite.
The interwebs have spoken.
Yes.
And the difference between a Bloody Mary and a Caesar is
Clam juice.
Kamado juice.
Yeah, clam juice. Okay, then there you go.
Is that it?
According to a couple of different places that I saw in here, yeah. So
because, when Campbell's Barbecue, he made his, it tasted a bit like ketchup to me.
Okay.
Your tomato juice is like tomato soup. It tasted like tomato soup with vodka in it. Whereas
I feel like they are interchangeable sometimes, depending on which.
Yeah, whereas the Kamado juice am I doing this right, Chris? It has an umami kind of kick to it, which makes it totally different.
Ooh.
Ah, that's right.
Dropping knowledge.
That's it. It does. It has a whang to it, and the whang is quite flavorful in a drink. So
I have a legitimate takeaway from tonight that I'm probably going to remember for the rest of my life, and that's the difference between the Caesar and the Bloody Mary. And I'm glad because it's bothered me before when I've thought about it. So
you're welcome.
I'm glad to know. Thank you.
There you go. Yep.
Fixing people's lives. You're welcome.
That's it. Yeah, because there's the Dirty Girl Bloody Mary mix. And Campbell's, he knows the lady who makes that, and he sicked me on that. I was like, oh, this is, the Dirty Girl. And I was freaking out about it, but I can't get it up here anyway because it's got no clam. So there you go.
I'm going to leave that alone. I'm not touching that.
Girl has no clam.
Well played, Chris. Well played. That's it. I'm still on these screwballs, man. Let me tell you, we need to get these guys to sponsor our show is what we need, because this is...
What's that?
Saw it, and I couldn't buy it.
It's a whiskey.
Oh, yeah. Peanut butter whiskey.
Peanut butter whiskey.
Mix it with grape soda. PB&J.
Stop it.
Oh,
Get out of here. Hey, with the hand, right? Get out of here. You got
forget about it.
Yeah, forget about it. I love it.
But yeah, dude, I did that. My wife brought home grape soda for it. She's like, "Listen, we got to mix this." I was like, "That's an amazing idea," and it was good. PB&J.
So, Mel, you said you had a question that you wanted to ask everybody that came on about what kind of cute animal would you grill?
Oh, yes. We should do this. We should do this every time. This is a great question.
Yes.
And it also leads into your lamb thing.
I would say rabbit.
Lamb doesn't count. It's going to do it anyway, but now you got to think.
A rabbit.
You can't do rabbit.
That's a sensible answer.
It's cute. So I imagine. People have them as pets. They're delicious. I don't know.
Mel's answer was like a baby penguin.
Up here, people eat them for fun. Yeah.
They eat them for what?
Not a baby penguin, the emperor penguin.
Okay.
If I'm gonna do it, I want a big one that I'd have to like a 3-foot penguin.
Okay, not a cute little fluffy one.
Well, that's going on the XXL. We know that.
Not a cute little fluffy one. No, that's it. No, but that's like honestly, I bet you don't know, but you got to think like the first guy to eat an oyster. He was not right.
I feel like a lot of these things.
Look, it looks like snot when I. That's what I'm saying, right? I take a rock and I smash this thing open. Look, it looks like snot, and it smells like rotten.
Snot.
Okay, well, let's eat it. Let's eat it. Like that's just saying.
But it's so good. I love
he was on something, but
ooh, I think I got an answer
me
for
too.
you.
But that's.
But yeah, no, I feel like all these things had to be desperation at one point that people tried these crazy things.
They had to be.
I have an answer for what I want to grill /smoke. I think I want to smoke a flamingo. I
Oh,
think smoked
buddy,
flamingo would be really good.
that's fantastic.
Yeah.
I visibly appreciate that.
The spatchcock
I would like
flamingo.
to see you smoke a flamingo. Yes.
Spatchcock
Isn't there
flamingo.
something weird with them? Their blood is like blue. Isn't their blood blue or something?
Well, I know that they get their color from what they eat.
Yes.
They eat a lot of like shrimp, and that's where they get their pigment from it.
Yep. Yeah.
So I would
No,
imagine
but
if
that's
they get,
because
I would
they would
think
be
that if they get
translucent,
their
I believe.
pigment from the shrimp, that their meat then would also get some sort of flavor from that too. You know, maybe a little seafood flavor to them.
I am interested now
No.
in the flamingo business. Yes.
That's a good one. Definitely. I'd try it.
Yeah.
Matt, you got to have a good one here. Rabbit was
Oh.
not a good one. In Canada, they eat rabbits for fun.
Hassan pepper doesn't count.
We eat 'em here.
Yeah.
My best friend was Portuguese. Growing up, his dad had a rabbit house in his backyard, and he would just plump them up until he was ready to eat them, you know, and then kill them, eat them.
Oh no, we
Let's see.
do that. The French lop, right? The French lop. We sell them all the time up here for food and snake food.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, like the rabbits are quite easy to find here for meat.
Interesting.
Black and flamingo. Yeah, that's
Flamingo is definitely an interesting.
I like
one.
that.
I don't know.
Spatchcock flamingo. All the way.
All I can think of is that stupid song, that flamingo song. Oh, that's hilarious. I love it. Yeah, it's not internet safe. I'm not going to sing it, but
Okay.
yeah, rabbit is.
So I don't know. We're looking for something. You said it has to be cute.
It doesn't have to be cute, but it has to be like something that people don't eat regularly.
Okay.
There's nothing that you thought about, like, I wonder what that would taste like.
I feel like there definitely has been, but I don't know. I don't know if people have tasted it before. I'm sure they have. You know, I went to Baltimore before, and a place that I was at, they had muskrat, and they had different stuff, and I saw kangaroo. You know, and these are things that I wanted to try, but I mean, out of the box that nobody else has had or that I've seen.
One that I thought was funny was guinea pig. It's quite common, actually, for a lot of cultures to eat guinea pig. I never thought about it. I never thought about eating a guinea pig. They're like a pigeon. But what do you know?
Or a ferret.
No. Yeah. I hate ferrets. I was bitten by one when I was a child. I don't like ferrets at all.
All the more reason.
Right to the bone, the little prick. Yeah.
I
The lady
still
was like,
want to try sandhill crane. That's still on my list, and that's a
I was trying to think of the bird.
Sandhill crane. Yeah. We have them. They're in the field right up above our house, and they'll fly over little pterodactyls. I'm like, I really want to just get one of those ribeyes of the sky and try them.
That's
what they're called, the ribeye of the sky.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question, Mel. What about the Canada geese? Do people eat those?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I think the limit is 48 per person per day.
Is that what it is? Because we just had a news article.
Yeah.
There's
You
Canada
can,
geese.
yeah, you can fill your like a mound of geese every day if you want. It's
really
yeah.
You can make a lot of jerky with them.
Okay.
They're greasy, and I'll tell you what, they're assholes. They're assholes.
I know. That's what I was going to say.
They shit everywhere. When I was a kid, when I was a kid, think of your daughter on a field trip to a beautiful city park, right? Here's little Mel. He's a little chubby. He's a bit of an asshole, right? The teacher says, hey, Don't go down there. There's eggs down there, right? Just leave that area alone. Well, why would you tell me that? Where's the first place I'm going to go?
Right
Down there to screw, right down there to screw the geese, right? So I'm coming running. My little legs, I got my beautiful little shorts on. My little legs are just flying. And I'm coming running up into the bus. And I'm trying to bang at the door to get in the bus. And they're biting my back and my legs. And they twist. They bite and twist. And I had big welts all down my fault. Totally my fault. But still, they're assholes.
That's so funny. So the reason I asked you this is because yesterday I saw on the news here in New Jersey there was a Canada goose nest in a parking lot at one of the stores, and the male was attacking people that were going into the store because they were getting too close. Bit somebody in the face. They had to go to the hospital. Like this whole thing. So I was like, "What a bunch of dicks!" I was like, "Maybe eat one of those." I didn't know that it was a thing. I guess obviously it is.
They're fucking assholes. They are.
Yeah, even in Wisconsin, there's a lot of hunting with that. I have my wife's family, one of her cousins does a lot of them, and I could get a bunch of geese. I really wanted to cook one too. It'd be pretty easy for me to get a hold of some.
Yeah,
and I hear they make good jerky.
Well, since we're on this topic, I bet you the bald eagle tastes like jelly beans. Just saying. Hey? If you want to go down that alley, I'm just saying.
Listen, it might, but just like the alligator for you, that is very illegal for me.
That's it. Yeah, that's hilarious. Yeah, I couldn't be party to that either. But could you imagine?
Could always imagine.
I'd wake up tomorrow. I'd have like 1,000 followers.
Wonder, what does it taste like?
Yeah. That's. Oh, jeez. Could you imagine? I don't know. I feel like I'd like to eat everything once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just try it. That's what I always say. I'll try anything. I'll try anything.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. There was a dude from Fiji once. We were hanging out together. He was a welder up from Fiji. And he was trying to buy an iguana off of like the local buy and sell. And he's like, yeah, I just want to eat it. I was like, what?
Yeah.
And then that's when I found out, like in Florida, right? We got Uncle Ron's in the house. People be eating iguanas all the time.
Oh, yeah. That's a big thing.
Yeah, that's crazy. Never thought to eat an iguana.
I didn't either. But, I'd try it. Absolutely.
Yep.
I had frog legs for the first time recently because a friend of mine, my friend of mine has a what he thought was a joke, sent me 5 pounds of frog legs in the mail. So I looked up Mel's video, how to make frog legs, and I marinated them, tossed them on the egg, and they were fantastic. Even my daughter ate them, and she knew what they were.
They're like chicken.
Yeah.
It's actually crazy, but it's like chicken.
When I was a kid, we would get those going out to eat. I remember going out to eat with my grandpa and getting the deep fried breaded frog legs, and they would just be just like a drumstick, just sitting there pounding them, and they were great.
No.
Oh yeah, I enjoyed them. I really did.
That's
and
awesome.
They were plump. They were meaty. I still have probably 4 pounds of them in the freezer. I got to probably start making them soon. But yeah, very surprisingly good.
That was the one thing that I regretted when I did frog legs on the grill, is not greasing my grill more, because they are very gentle meat. You want that grill just super gentle. But
you're right. And I messed up a couple of them. They stuck to the grate. I pulled the thigh off, and I was kind of upset. I had to grab it off and eat it real quick, but it ruined my presentation. So you're right, absolutely.
Yeah, no, that's the magic of the cast iron, right? You do the cast iron with the butter or the grease; they don't stick at all. So yeah, that's the one thing. I think I'm going to buy. I had thought about this for other stuff anyway. I'm going to buy a big green egg grate, like an extra one, and have it just for stuff like that. Because my go-to everyday stuff, it's like a beater, right? It just, because I am out here every single day. I have been since day one. and you can't get it that clean.
Yeah.
I would love like a precision grill that I pull out of the back for specialty stuff like that, where I know what's going right in the sink after and done and babied, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. That was one of the things I was worried about when I did my beef Wellington, was that it was going to stick on the grill. So,
did you do it on the when you did your Wellington? Did you do it on the grate?
On the pizza stone.
Yeah, that's what I did. But I think I may have even had parchment paper down underneath it.
No, I wanted to do it right on the grate though, because of the airflow.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the thing, like I get in arguments all the time with my pizzas. I do my pizzas in a steel pan that's got holes in it, and I put that pan right on the grate. Yeah, the pizza pan has holes in it.
Oh,
like
and
straight
you do that
through.
right on the grate?
And I do it right on the grate. I don't use a stone at all.
Okay.
And yeah, it that way it doesn't stick. You can pre-make it right into that pan. You've got like 10 pans, and you can just swap the pans out. It doesn't stick to the pan. It doesn't stick to the pizza stone, and it gets a beautiful golden brown right from the heat. There's nothing holding that heat back.
Yeah.
And I get the premise of the stone heating up and cooking the bread, but really with the dough, the heat does the same thing. So
what temp are you doing that?
800, 1,000.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's just phenomenal. Like I honestly, 9 out of 10 pizzas don't even get blackened at all. Like they're just golden brown and super crunchy, but nice. It's always worked for me, so I've never changed it.
Oh, definitely something to look into. I don't make pizzas as often as a lot of people, and I feel like I should, because when I do, I'm always just like blown away by how good they are.
I go in spurts.
Yeah. But I suck at making a round pie. Like, they're never round. They're always oval or just misshapen. They're delicious, but they never look that great.
So I'm terrible at that too. So what I would do is I would just end up calling it a flatbread when it's in an oval. But what I found is I actually have a steel pizza pan that I usually start my pizzas out on top of the stone, and then halfway through I'll take them off to crisp up the crust. And I found that if you start on the pan, it's easy to make that round shape. What you do is you kind of push it out towards the ends, and then I kind of just fold it over on all the different areas, so it kind of holds it. And when it, as it comes in, then it keeps the round shape. Ron, Mr.
I saw that.
Worked at a pizza place in a previous life.
Yeah. Ron used to
stuffed with frog legs. That's what he said.
You know what I want Ron to do, and I'm sorry, I'm still being petty about it, but I wish that Ron would walk into that old pizza joint and tell him that he made pizza on a piece of watermelon. Is what I wish. Look that proud pizza man right in the eyes and tell him you made a pizza with watermelon.
Forget about it.
Forget about it. That's it.
I did it a bunch of times last year too, and it was awesome.
I refuse to do it. I ate it once. I put octopus on it and everything. I ate it once, and I was like, "This is for you, buddy."
Didn't you?
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the watermelon pizza with the the feta, was and the basil and the balsamic. It was really nice.
Well, there he goes right there. He busts my balls about that beer corn all the time, so I got to feed it back to him with that stupid watermelon pizza. Yeah.
I got to make that
because
as soon as I can get corn over here again, I'm doing that.
The beer corn is life, man. It's trust me. Find yourself a good hoppy beer, man. You're good. I had some in my lunch pit. Hey, just saying, it was that good.
I'm definitely doing that. I can't wait. And Jersey, we're known for our corn, so I'm just waiting for it to come in season. There's a farm down the street. Once it's ready and they're selling it on the side of the road, when I come home from work, I'm going to just stop over, get a whole bunch, and then start marinating it in beer.
Nice.
For sure.
Yeah, man. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. Oh.
But yeah, Ron goes back to his roots. He used to be up here in the Northeast as well. or so he claims. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for him to come visit me when he comes back.
Yeah, that's it.
But he's living the Florida life now, and I feel like everybody's doing that. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to move down there too.
I would love to go and visit Ron for a year or 4. Seems like a good plan. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And let him do the cooking. Hang out.
Yeah, well, why not? That's it. This is. I love Ron to pieces. I like to bust him a ton. Most of the time when he's posting stuff, I'll be like, Lynn did a really good job of that, didn't she? He gets pretty excited, which is a good time. Because Lynn is quite the cook. That's yeah, I love it. I love it. Oh, yeah, that chicken sandwich, man. He's right about that chicken sandwich. Talk about the chicken sandwich for a minute, buddy.
Yes, that thing was unreal.
Oh, it was fantastic. So I don't do it often because like I deep fried on the grill or on the egg, but I made 8 of these last night, so I didn't want to do it on the egg because I wanted the temp controlled. So I did it on my deep fryer, and it's this PS Seasoning, which is a company that I work with. And Matt, you work with them too, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm in a couple of group chats with you. I'm trying to keep them all straight. But yeah, I mean, they came out with this new Nashville hot sauce, which I think is fantastic. And it's a company that's local to me, too. They're about an hour and a half from me. So we went down there and visited them. But this sauce it's probably the closest thing I've had to real Nashville hot chicken in a bottled sauce because it's, still gives you good flavor and everything. And, it was nice to kind of mix some of that sauce into my egg dredge. I mixed some of the Nashville hot seasoning into my flour dredge. We kind of infused it that way, and then just instead of taking the sauce and cutting it with a little bit of the oil that you fried it in, I tried to keep it a little bit cleaner and just dump the sauce over the top. I know I'm making deep fried chicken and thinking of making it cleaner by not adding oil in it, but yeah, it was a hell of a sandwich, and I had it again for lunch today.
It looked amazing.
Yeah. And it's a combination of the mayo with that sauce and then the bite from the pickles. It just all works together. So yeah, I highly recommend that sauce. I used
it on last week. I did the Nashville hot seasoning, Nashville hot sauce on wings, which was great. Yeah. But I definitely want to do that. I made Nashville hot chicken sandwiches last year, and I think I watched Ron's Mel's video. Because I know that Mel's a big fan of the Nashville hot.
Yep.
And I think once I saw you do it, I was like, I wasn't really big on it yet. And I was like, I got to try this. So I looked up some recipes and I used their Nashville hot when I did that as well last year, which was great with the pickles and everything. But they didn't have that sauce yet. So
yeah,
got to try it again.
So what I found with it is, I have to cut the chicken breasts in half so they're thinner. I mean, or if you have the bigger ones, pound it out to make it just more even size. So that way, I deep fry them for 3 minutes. I go out, flip them in the basket so they don't stick to the basket, and then it's about 2.5 minutes more, and it's done. And it was great. I mean, it's probably my new go-to wing sauce for it too. I know you talked about using that sauce on wings because it's a little bit different flavor than your Frank's buffalo sauce. It's just got that little bit more smokiness to it. It's got a decent bite. It's a great combination for wing sauce, which I think it's gonna be my new go-to wing sauce.
Nice.
Yeah, no, it was, and I'm with you on that. It was good. It's gonna be upsetting whenever.
But yeah, that's for nostalgia purposes. My favorite chicken wings to this day still goes back to the old Hooters Frank's Red Hot with butter. And like searing, almost boiling hot, right through the pan, and then double backed onto the grill. If you ever get a chance to double dip and grill them, they get that little bit of char on it from the butter.
Do honey in there too with that, or just the Franks and the butter?
The Franks and butter.
Okay.
Franks and butter, a little bit of garlic salt, just to add that little bit of extra, and just
see if I put them back on the grill after I sauce them, I want to sauce them again, just one more time.
That's what I mean. Like it's between the pot and the grill a couple times.
Yeah.
And then when you finish them, like you still want them greasy. So you got to like do the last dip. So I just keep my sauce hot. I actually have a potbelly stove on my deck in my area with my eggs, and I'll literally put my hot sauce with my butter on a pot on that with a few logs in it, so it stays red hot. Then I can just keep dancing back and forth between the egg and the stove.
Yeah,
and
Matt's starting to drool. I can see it starting to. Well, he's like,
yes. And I am. And the funny thing is, like when I first started making wings on the egg, before I made any sauces or even had, any sauces from different companies, I was doing Frank's Red Hot with butter. That was my go-to wing sauce. I was melting butter and mixing it with the Frank's Red Hot. So I'm thinking about it as he's doing it, as he's talking about it, and I'm like, I love doing that. It was delicious. And that's when I first started making wings. So it's like bringing me back. I haven't done it in so long. Maybe next week. That's gonna be the one.
That's the same thing I did too, because I had a little bit of honey to it.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, that's well. Now I got that Mike's hot honey.
Yes.
That stuff's no joke. I was like, oh, it can't be that hot. Like it tastes like sriracha peppers almost. I was like, oh, this is.
Do you have the hot or the extra hot?
The hot, I believe.
There's an extra hot that I have too. That's got some. That's definitely got kick to it.
Well, we're up in Canada, Chris. It'll be another 9 years before.
About 5 years.
Yeah.
2026.
A bottle of that. They sent me a bottle of the hot honey, and my wife tried it, and then I never saw it after that. She had used it on everything that she was cooking from there on out, and within 2 weeks it was gone. And that was the end of it. She made flatbreads with it. She made drinks with it. She made me some sort of cocktails that she put hot honey in and rimmed the glasses with it too. She went crazy with it. But now it's gone.
The first thing I did other than try some like straight was like the Meat Church candy bacon.
Okay.
Yeah, and painted it with honey.
Pizza.
And that worked quite nice because you can go so. Imagine you're doing your smoked mac and cheese with a hot honey crumbled bacon.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. I just take it and put it on top of pizza.
Yep.
Any pizza, just drizzle it over the top because I always either do hot sauce or red pepper flakes. I mean the truff sauce, truff hot sauce is fantastic on pizza.
On pizza,
hot honey on pizza. Ooh, some good stuff, man.
I think that's where I tried it the first time was at Campbell's.
Okay.
Bee sting.
The
bee sting. Yeah. Yeah, I think that might have been it. Oh. Fantastic. Yeah, that was.
What are we thinking this year? Do you think Oktoberfest is going to be a go? And if it is, are you guys going to be there?
I'm not sure Mel's going to be allowed to go.
I don't know that they'll let me over yet.
I can't believe how strict you guys are over there.
Buddy, we're having riots, man. It's really weird. It's real. Like, I'm all for being safe, and I don't like to get into politics. Like, for sure, we wear our masks, we do, but it's crazy. Like, it's curfews and shit. Like, I don't know. I try not to get personal about it, but like in our city, we had a church, and they banned the church from having Sunday service. Well, the people still showed up. There was 200 cops with a chopper and SWAT team to Sunday service.
Wow.
Like if you know what I mean? And I like, what do you say to that? We have friends that are in the service, and they're like, the day that my boss asks me to come between those two things, I'm going to call in sick. Yeah. I get it, man. That's a crazy. I don't know. It's scary, but like all I want to do is just have an Oktoberfest. That's just let me come in there to cook one gator on the other side of the border, and then I'll come back. I'll be quiet. I promise.
It's, what is it? April. We got 6 months. Hopefully in 6 months we're singing a different tune.
Oh, buddy.
Because over here, I feel like in New Jersey, especially, we're a little bit more, conservative or protective, than some other states. We still have to wear masks everywhere we go, things like that. Things are opening up a little bit, but when I hear what you're talking about by you, it's like what we experienced last year. I just can't believe that in other parts of the world that's still going on. That's nuts.
No, and our numbers aren't where you would think they are to have that kind of action. That's the thing. And like vaccines are rolling out now, people are getting vaccinated. It kind of doesn't make a lot of sense to keep tightening it, right? But
yeah, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. But I just want to say, like, if it's on, are you there?
Oh, I'm gone. Man, like even that Ohio Egg Fest, and they canceled it. So just brutal.
That's been canceled?
I believe so. Don't quote me on it, but I believe they canceled it. I don't know for sure though, but I believe it's been. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, I hope in 6 months things look a lot better. I hope it happens. I hope we could go. I would love to meet you guys in person. That's definitely something that I look forward to doing one day. If not this year, but soon, or as soon as I can.
Yeah, absolutely. That's.
I've done a bunch of local ones by me. I go to Pennsylvania because in New Jersey, nobody knows what a big green egg is over here. You say it and people look at you like you have two heads. It's like crazy. Mm-hmm. But, I go to Pennsylvania. I've been to a couple of egg fests over there. But I really just want to go to the Mecca, and experience the one.
Hey, man, I can't even put it into words, but for me, coming from Canada, from the middle of nowhere, I just remember going all the way out to a band of outhouses or porta potties, right? And I turned around and I wanted to do like a quick video for my Instagram. And I happened to be like in the corner, the far corner, overlooking the entire, and it was just kind of up on a bit of a hill, and it was just picturesque, this video that I quickly shot, because all you see are pinwheels and regulators with smoke just getting started from the day. And it was just an ocean of them with the big stage in the middle, and we could see where our Big Green Egg Team Green was, and then you saw the learning tents and stuff like that, and the ambulance was pulling in. But just all of those pinwheels and regulators all just firing up, and the sun was just perfect. It was nuts. Absolutely nuts. And everyone had like an egg on them somewhere.
Yeah.
And everyone was smiling. I didn't see one crabby person there.
No, the energy is amazing.
Crazy. I mean, the ones that I went to, I had pictures of the same thing, but there's only maybe like, I don't know, 40 eggs going up at once. And it's a great scene, but I just couldn't imagine how awesome, Eggtoberfest.
How many eggs do you think we're going at that Eggtoberfest?
There's 400, I think.
At least.
Yeah.
At least. It was like crazy amount of eggs and just a sea of them. It was awesome. It was it was very humbling. It was a very humbling experience. And then just walk right to the center of it and fire it up. It was like, all right, let's get it on. Like, it was awesome. It's
amazing. Absolutely amazing.
It's super cool. Super cool. Being right in the center of it.
Yeah, let's hope that we can do that soon.
Oh, man.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. And again, it was just the experience, but like I said, also meeting everybody, in person that you you talk to on social media, and like this too. It would just be so cool to make that bond in person as well.
Yeah.
Definitely something that.
It's cool. You meet people that you've known for years but never actually met in person, and it's like
exactly.
Exactly.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I've talked to Big Paul. I've talked to him on the phone before. I almost feel like we're like best friends. But I could imagine like just meeting him in real life. Stuff like that. And same thing with you guys.
I'll never forget the first thing Buddha said to me. He's like, I want to see if you're exactly like you are on the internet. I was like, what? That was the first thing. He's like, yeah, so you're the guy. I want to see if you're exactly like you're the guy, right? And I forget who I was hanging out with, but they were like, this is, yeah, he's like that. He's and then we just bang. And the whole weekend was fantastic.
I could only imagine how fun that was after that.
Yeah. And like Gnome from Tropical King, he was there at the VIP party. All of the players were there at the VIP party. It was nuts. People I never thought that would be there were there, and they're like, hey, thanks for coming. It's awesome. It was, yeah, man. Jack Arnold baked us a cake or a pie. Like, crazy. Just crazy things that you'd never expect, but there it is.
He's that guy that, you look at his life and what he's doing, and you're just like, damn, like, I want to live that life for a day, or a weekend, just to like, he's just always traveling, going to the great places, meeting great people, cooking on eggs everywhere. It's just like, that's what it's all about. I'm like, that's what I want. He's always.
I'm pretty live that life. I could maybe go for a weekend, and then I would need to take a nap.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna like. I'm pretty sure he sleeps on a treadmill. Just so you know. Like, I don't think that guy ever stops moving. I'm pretty sure he moves all the time. And he's
always smiling. Always smiling.
Yeah.
You'll never see him in a bad mood. Which is awesome.
Yeah. No, it's fantastic stuff, man. Absolutely. Oh, I hope it happens. Oh, I hope it happens. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm trying to put together something small here in Alberta this year. I don't know if we're going to be allowed to, but just something just to get the eggheads that are close to me together. I haven't seen anything really like it before, so it's time. It's time to butter it up and get it going. So keep an eye out on my Facebook. I'm trying to put something together there to get something going for the summer.
You have, I'm there, so I'll see it.
Right on, man. Right on.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's starting to get a little late. It's going to be really late by Matt.
Yeah. 10:30 over here.
Yeah.
Well, that's the one.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on, Matt. It's been a blast. It's great to
thank you guys so much for having me. Really,
New Jersey.
It was great to hang with you guys and talk about all the stuff. Definitely had a great time. Appreciate it. And like I said, before you know it, 2 hours has gone by, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And for those of you that are not following Matt, make sure to follow him. It's Eggin, Eggin with Dad, all one word. Give him a follow on Instagram. You won't be disappointed. He's one of our BG Team Green members. I think he's the newest member. Finally, I mean, even though we knew you were coming for a while.
The newest announced member, and couldn't be happier. When I started this Instagram page, maybe like a year and a half ago, somewhere around there, I've been posting all my cooks on my personal page, and everybody's like, oh, you should make a page just dedicated to grilling, so I finally did it, and it just opened me up to this world that I didn't even know existed, with Team Green and just all the guys like you guys out there, and it was just crazy, and when I started and I learned all of this, getting on Team Green was like the ultimate goal for me. Like I was like, one day I would love to make it there. And I just couldn't tell you how, humbled I am to be on the same team as you guys, but also recognized by Big Green Egg, of course, as well. It is a passion of mine, and anybody who knows me for the past 6-7 years will tell you it's pretty much all I talk about anyway. So like, literally like a dream come true. Like, it's just awesome. So I'm happy to be here. I look forward to what's ahead, meeting you guys, doing these kind of things with you as well. Like, definitely appreciate it.
Hell yeah.
Great on you. Us too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's it, man. That's it. Yeah, man, it's going to be a blast.
Until we can do this in person.
Yeah. Heck yeah. Done deal. Cheers, guys.
All right, guys. Have a good night.
Have a great day.
Everybody be good. Be safe. We'll see you next week.
All right. Be good.